Thank you. You can grab a Bible and you'll read for us. I'll also request you can grab a mic, Kate. Yes, I'll request Kate maybe come here so that the people online can see who is reading for us. Yes, we have a very rich Kazi Kanisani program. What do you say? Yes, for children, parents, and everyone. So I would like our reader to go to the book of Acts 17 and verse 28. Where are we going to? Acts 17 and verse 28. The book of Acts, chapter is 17, and the verse is 28.
And
I want us to see something as we begin. Yes?
And it says,
Yes.
For in him we live and move and have our being.
Yes.
As some of your own poets have said, we
Yes.
are his offspring.
Amen. So from that verse, we are told that in him we live and move and have our being. When you came to church, from wherever you came from job, from school, even from tarmacking and everything, and the week has been a very busy week, but you still found time to come through that gate and have a fellowship today. That is the power of God that has enabled you to come and be here today. Even those online, the power to buy that bundle, the power to access your Wi-Fi, or whichever other means to access the YouTube channel. Yes, we acknowledge that you've made an effort, but still the power of God, according to Acts 17 and verse 28, tells us that for in him we live and move, and it is only the power of God that is able to strengthen our efforts to do anything in this life. You can go days without water, you can go some days without food, but you cannot go a second without God. Amen? My reader, let us go to Psalms 33 and verse 6. Psalms 33 and verse 6 and 9. Psalms 33.
Verse 6 says,
Yes.
By the word of the Lord the heavens were made, their starry host by the breath of his mouth.
Amen. And verse 9.
Says, For he spoke and it came to be. He commanded and it stood firm.
Yes, one of the wonderful power of God is that of creation. When you contemplate on creation from the first day to the sixth day, and even resting on the seventh day, we can see the manifest power of God all around us in this earth, in nature. Even when you go into nature, you come close to God in a special way because it reveals of his power. And once this power is revealed unto you, you'll be able to even appreciate and draw closer to God. Our readers just read from the book of Psalms, and it tells us he spake and he commanded and it stood fast. God just spoke something and something happened. That is a power that we do not have of ourselves, but only God above in heaven has that power to speak something and it becomes. Even when you look at creation, if you look at the plants, how a plant grows from the time it was a seed to the trees even which are outside here, that is the power of God, which we may not fully understand because that power is beyond our comprehension. And the way that tree grows from a seed to become that big tree, it's just the power of God. I had the privilege of seeing a mustard tree, but I've not seen the mustard seed. But according to the report I was given, if you have seen a carrot seed, it is smaller than even a carrot seed. So how such a small seed? And if you see that tree is very big. I saw it somewhere in Kiambu. It's a very big tree. And from where it came from, it's only the power of God that is able to bring that seed into a tree. And it is what Christ is telling us, to have such a faith as small as a mustard seed. And God has the power to grow even the little faith that we have. He is able to grow that faith into something very big to the glory of his name. Psalms 33 verse 8. The same Psalms 33 verse 8.
And it says, "Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the people of the world revere him."
Let all the people of the world revere him. You can only stand in awe at something like creation, or even in the manifest power of God that is all around us. The psalmist says that he stood in awe in all of these things. The same psalmist in another psalm, which we may not read at this point, he says that marvelous are thy works. We can only marvel at the creation of God. Even how human beings we were created. We were created from dust. Nobody up to this point can create something out of dust and that it lives. Cloning has been tried, but it failed. So many things may have been tried to create life, but only God in heaven has the power to create life, and is the same God in heaven who has created us today. If we read Isaiah 55 verse 9. Isaiah 55 verse 9.
Isaiah chapter 55 verse 9, it says, "As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts."
Yes. So God is telling us his ways are higher than the earth. We cannot fully understand how things happen. When the men you sleep at night, tomorrow your hair grows, you did not know how that happened. You did not know what happened so that hair grows. And the same God tells us that he even knows the numbers that of the hairs that are on our head. And this power of God tells us they are higher than the heavens and they are higher than the earth, and his ways, God's ways, are greater than our ways. My reader, Job 11, 7-9. Job 11 and verse 7-9. We are at Job 11 and verse 7-9. The power of God, we have seen it in creation. The power of God, we have seen it even in our beings. The power of God also, we see it in a lot of things around this earth. And sometimes you can, Job 11 and verse 7-9.
And it says, "Can you fathom the mysteries of God? Can you probe the limits of the Almighty? They are higher than the heavens above. What can you do? They are deeper than the depths below. What can you know? Their measure is longer than the earth and wider than the sea."
Amen. So God is telling us that his power is great. It is great that you cannot even fully find out. Yes, God has provided in his word how we may know his will, how we may know the examples and providences of his power throughout the ages. He has also provided all this in his word. But even in verse 7 of Job chapter 11, he says, "How can thou by searching find out God?" You cannot fully find out all these things. You cannot fully understand the power of God. And that's what makes him God. He will not be God if we fully understand all these things. Because he's the creator, we are the creation. And once we understand this, then we'll be able to also know how his power works and how it can work in our lives. To the Garden of Eden, and Adam and Eve have sinned. They were to perish at the spot. But the loving power of Jesus Christ, the loving power of God, they were to perish at that same spot. But God, in his love, he was able to work out a plan of salvation and is the only one who has that power to work out a plan of salvation. You cannot save